Make sure you tune into Dominion TV every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Download the app. You can get it on Roku and Apple, and get ready for an awesome kingdom time. We're empowering young women and women to be the best that God has purposed them to be. Hey y'all, welcome to Evolve with Shauna Marie. I am so glad you could join us this evening. I am so excited about this segment, but I'm also moved because we've been talking about all month long, with it being October, domestic violence awareness. We've been talking about bullying awareness, and I want to break the silence on bullying. It's something that we often don't talk about in our community. We often don't talk about in church. And oftentimes, even as parents, we sometimes even miss it in our homes. I put up a post earlier last week, and it was about children and teens that had been bullied, for parents to email me, to message me, because we wanted ways to be able to pour into them, to be able to help them, to encourage them, to motivate them. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to every single parent that reached out to me and that shared their stories. I'm going to share a couple of them tonight. But I want to thank all of you for reaching out. Most of all, I want to thank all of you brave, bold, amazing, beautiful children that reached out and were brave and courageous enough to share your testimony about how you got bullied. So I have a couple of stories tonight. And if you know of a teen, know of a child that's been through bullying, if it's been your child, pull them to that TV screen right now. Share it with somebody. The first story I want to share with you guys is about a little girl. And she reached out saying that she had been bullied in school because she has ADHD. Now, I want you to understand what bullying is. And I literally wrote the definition down because I don't want to get anything wrong or get anything misconstrued, because it's very important to know the definition of bullying to be able to identify it. So bullying.gov says that bullying is unwanted aggressive behavior, observed or perceived power imbalance, repetition or a high likelihood of repetition of bullying behaviors. So it's that unwanted aggressive behavior that is being done repetitively or has a likelihood to be repeated, because oftentimes people say, oh, it's not bullying because it hasn't continued to happen. No, that's not true. If it has a likelihood of being repeated, even if it's not immediately, it's still bullying. So this little girl, brave, courageous little girl, reaches out and says that because she has ADHD, that she was bullied in school. She was picked on, she was called names, she was degraded. All of us are different. All of us have a special uniqueness about us because we've been fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image. We're his masterpiece. He created us. We're supposed to be different. But she's being bullied because she's different. My second email in was a little boy who was being bullied because he had alopecia. Now, these are differences that these little girls and little boys cannot help. But oftentimes, people will take those differences and they'll find it as reasons to pick on, to degrade, to make fun of, to embarrass, right? So he has alopecia, and kids begin to pick on him because of his alopecia. But I got to tell his testimony too, because in the midst of them picking on him and degrading him and calling him names, God gives him a recipe that restores his hair back to full restoration. So I want to say I am grateful for what God has done for you, young man. You had a mighty testimony. So does you, young lady. I don't want to call your names because they're children, but I'm proud of you for sharing. It's going to help somebody tonight. I want you to think about all of the different types of bullying that go on. We have a physical bullying, the hitting, the pushing, the kicking, the shoving, and it doesn't happen on the playground. It happens in the hallways. It happens on the stairwell. It happens in the cafeteria. It happens in the classroom. These messages I got were incidents inside the classroom. 1 in 5 students in high school, middle school, and elementary school have been bullied. 160,000 kids skip school every single day for fear of being bullying. I know we're in the midst of a pandemic, but if you ask me, this is a pandemic. Because what happens when you're bullied is you take on the side effects of rejection, the side effects of depression, the side effects of being isolated, being excluded, not just from the physical aspect, but then the verbal aspect. Now you have cyberbullying and social bullying, which now is outweighing physical bullying. So now kids are getting on social media, on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Kik, on TikTok, and now they're texting, and now they are cyberbullying people through that. Excluding them through, from conversations, saying embarrassing things via text that they found about their friends. So you're talking about, we're in a circle of girls. And I tell you something personal about me, and you go tell everybody else, and you do it over and over and over and over again. That's bullying. Socially, cyberbullying, sending inappropriate sexual messages. Over and over. I want to talk to some of you kids that are experiencing this, and you parents, because I know that this has been hard. I have the messages in front of me. I could read so many right now. I want to talk to you about what God believes about you. I know that you had this fear. I know that you've had this rejection. I know that you've had this hurt, this heartbreak. And I first want to say to you what the bully has not said and may not have the know-how or heart to say. I want to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've had to go through this. I'm sorry that you've been violated, that you've been victimized. I'm sorry that you've had to experience all of this hurt, all of this pain, all of this heartbreak, all of this rejection. But I want to tell you that you are more than enough, that you were fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image. You are supposed to be different. Your eyes are supposed to be different. Your nose is supposed to be different. How you learn is supposed to be different. You're supposed to have a different color hair, a different type of hair, different body types, different body weights, different heights. That is who God made you to be. And that is good enough. That is good enough. For those kids that are hiding from their parents, that you're being bullied. And I heard what kids said, snitches get stitches. No, they don't. Snitches don't, listen, they don't get stitches. You get help. You have to reach out to your parents. Reach out to your principals and your administrators at school. Reach out to your teachers. And I'm admonishing, checkmate. I'm admonishing some of you teachers and some of you administrators and some of you principals and staff and volunteers at school that see these things going on, and you do this. Or you halfway address it. This is shaping who these children are becoming. Believe them. It does not matter if they've been in a whole bunch of trouble or been through cycles of disciplinary actions. They are hurting. They are challenged. Some of them are literally on the verge of suicide. And I bind it up in the name of Jesus. I speak life over all of these children, but I need you administrators and you teachers to really look at situations, hearts. Don't just brush it off. These children are living depressed, oppressed, and suppressed lives, hurt lives, broken lives, and it is time for us to step up and be the answer. How? Take the muzzle off. Take the scales off. Open up your eyes. Even if you don't know if it's the truth or not, all you got to do is be a listening ear. Just be a listening ear. Parents, be a listening ear to your children. Continue to knock on that door of the principal's office every single day if you have to get them help. Listen to them. Pray for them. The effective and fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much. Teach your kids how to pray. Teach them how to cover themselves. We have to be the solution and the strategy in this season. We have to open up our mouths in church. While we're having Sunday school, while we're having Wednesday night worship services, while we're on these virtual and Zoom calls that we're on right now during this pandemic, open up and give these children a platform to tell you what they're going through. Give them strategies, give them solutions. If you don't know, reach out. Reach out to evolvetalkshow.com. I'm an educator myself. I know this firsthand. We can help you. Feel free to send your prayer requests, your testimonies in. We will pray for you. To every little boy and girl watching, I want to thank you for being brave. Thank you for standing in the middle of it, in the thick of it. Thank you for continuing to be who God called you to be. You are worthy. You are more than enough. You are loved. You are loved. And I just want to ask you to do one thing for me. And I know it may be kind of challenging because they hurt your feelings, right? They broke your heart. They said ugly and nasty things. They hit you. But can you do Miss Shauna one favor? I want you to forgive them. Just right there where you are, just raise your hands and say, God, I forgive so-and-so for whatever they've done to me to bully me. I forgive them. Even if it was a teacher, a parent, whoever, I forgive them. I give my heart to you. I surrender my heart to you. If you do not know Jesus Christ, I invite you to know Jesus. He is such a good, good Father. He can heal your heart. He can heal your brokenness. He can deliver you from all of this hurt that you're feeling. There is much life in you. Life. There is a life in you. And I'm speaking life over you right now. Life. You will live and you shall not die. You will have joy. You will have beauty for your ashes. God's going to turn your mourning into dancing. So I want to thank you on tonight for joining me. Share this broadcast with your friends, with your teenagers, with your school, with your principal. Share it. Let's come together. I want to shout out tonight my amazing sponsor, Linda Burgess from Lincoln Heritage, and my Evolve Dream Team, and to all of you for watching every Wednesday. Join us 8:30 p.m. on Dominion TV, and don't forget to be the light and the salt. Shine, shine, sprinkle, sprinkle. It's Shauna Marie on Dominion TV. It's Shauna Marie with the Evolve Talk Show. Listen, if this show has been blessing you, I need you to email in your prayer requests and your testimonies. And if you want to partner with us, make sure you email us at evolvetalkshow.com.